Hey everybody, how would you like to get rich really fast, go home, sit on your couch, and just let the money roll in? Well, I'm going to tell you how to do it. You're going to buy real estate investment property. That's right, you're going to come on down. Okay, you're going to come on down to our I can't do it. I can't get through this. Okay, try it again. You're going to come on down to our investment seminar. It's only going to cost you $2,500, and we're going to show you how to do this even if you don't have any money, and you are going to be driving around in Ferraris. Okay, if you haven't figured it out by now, if you've watched a video that talks about this, there's some rich guy, poor guy, other people run these seminars and come on down and pay your money, and we'll show you how to do it. Well, this is for people that live in Canada because I live in Canada. I own investment property, have since 1984, and what I do for investment property works. I know it works because I've been doing it since 1984. The only problem I ever made was I didn't buy enough of them. I really didn't, and I should have. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to get rich buying investment property? Well, let me tell you, you're not going to do it quickly. It takes time and you got to have a plan, but it works. And depending on how you start off doing this, you can start it with very little money. Now, a lot of people, they don't want to be landlords. And if you don't want to be a landlord, then you are never going to own investment property. Because I'm going to tell you a little secret. Management companies take a lot of your profit. I own a fourplex that's not in Alberta, and I have a fantastic management company. They do an excellent job. They keep me informed. The rents are always deposited into my bank account by the 7th of the month. They have maintenance people, and every time I check the property when I'm there, it's looking good. They do what they say they're going to do, and well, I check it out. I'm not just, on the other side of the world and forgetting about it. I go out there and check it out, and for the most part, I gotta tell you, they do an excellent job. If you need a property manager in St. John, New Brunswick, I got a good one for you, because they've been managing my property for 12 years. But I can tell you without a doubt, that property there compared to the same property I have here, the profit margins on the property I have here are incredibly large compared to that property. I can tell you just this month, my management expense for collecting the rents and making sure it's good. Remember, it's May 2019. And, I had to fork out $566 to them to take care of that property and collect all the rents and make sure everything is okay. And one of the people are moving out, so they got to run an ad, they got to show the place, they got to take care of it. I would normally do all these things myself. My fourplex here, well, one, nobody's given notice. Two, I didn't spend any money. The rents came in by e-transfer, everything went good. That's just how it is. So investment property. How do you buy investment property? The hard and fast rule is you need 20% down. You don't need 20% down. You really don't. But if you already own some properties, let's say you have 2, 3, or 4, you're going to need 20% down. Simple as that. But the rents on all those properties go to the cost of that property. It's not dollar for dollar. There's a complex formula that they use to fill it all out. And trust me, if you're going to be going out buying investment property, which I hope that you are going to want to do after you watch this, you are going to need leases on all your tenants, move-in reports on all your tenants, financial statements on all your properties. You're going to have a file every year, and you're going to know exactly on an Excel file exactly how much money you made, how much money you spent, and where did it go. And you're going to take the time to do that. Or you're going to partner with somebody. And what I mean by partnering with people is I have people that have partnered with me. And I'm not offering this as a service because I'm extremely expensive. And when I tell people how much I want, they run away and say no way. But most people don't even do the investment property. So I'm going to give you a little hint here. This is a chart. And it says right here. See this? I hope you can read this. Investment property. Happy guy. How to buy. Real simple. If you don't own a house yet, your first house should be an investment property because you're going to move into it, make a couple of improvements, and then you're going to move out of that. And when you can buy that 5% down, put your feet up and do nothing. Not happening. Do you know how to change a wax ring on a toilet? Do you know how to fix a leaky tap? How about some baseboards? Can you do some baseboards? You know, simple little things. If you don't know how to do these things, investment property is not for you, because if you're paying people, it's going to cost too much. The last one is get rich quick. I'm telling you right now, there's no such thing as getting rich quick. But I will tell you this. If you invest $10,000 in a revenue property, and you do that today, you go out and buy a revenue property, you can buy an investment property in Calgary right now today if you've got $10,000 and make $11.88 an hour, and your credit is good. Because you can get an apartment condo for $125,000, $130,000, and you can rent that out. I personally have already bought one this year under this scenario. I have it rented for $1,300 a month. It cash flows. What in the world is cash flow? So here's another thing you need to know about investment property, and this is where you get rich. It's not quick. It takes 10, 15 years. And you got to work through it, because sometimes the market goes against you, sometimes the market takes off, you get greedy, all kinds of things happen. Make it a long game. You want it a short game, go do something else, because investment property is not going to work for you. But if you're in it for the long haul, it'll work. So this is how you make it work. Cash flow. All your expenses added up over here. Rent. Take your vacancy, take your maintenance, take your mortgage payment, condo fees, taxes, insurance. Maybe there's no condos, maybe it's a house, whatever it is. You think of everything it is for a cost. Let's say it's $1,200 and you rent it for $1,300. That's $100 a month cash flow. I can tell you right now, for property in Calgary, almost impossible really to get any reasonable cash flow. But you know, you put $10,000 down, you make it $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year on $10,000. That's 12%. You will have to pay tax on that. Then it has, what's your profit? And this is where the accountant gets me every year. Let me tell you, I sit down and argue with those guys. They just I owe this and I owe that, and how? I don't have any money. Your mortgage pay down is profit. You bought a $150,000 property, mortgage pay down is about $600 a month. You got cash flow $100 a month. That's $700 a month profit. That's right, mortgage pay down is profit. Now you can cancel your profit on your mortgage pay down by depreciating the property, but that's a conversation you got to have with your accountant, because I'm not giving you any advice there. I've chosen not to depreciate my properties, because when I go to sell them in the future, if I bought it for $150,000 and I sell it for $300,000 in the future, that $150,000, because I did not depreciate the property, I get back tax-free. The purchase price I get back tax-free. The $150,000 I'd have to claim as a capital gains tax and pay tax on it. So that's how investment property works. If you've seen videos of people marching up to their McMansions and they've got their sports cars all out, or they're traveling around the world, and I just watched one today that talked about the 1% rule and the 50% rule and the 70% rule, and these rules don't exist. You're not buying property under those rules in the city of Calgary. In fact, there's very few places in Canada you could buy property that fit. And more importantly, the numbers that you're going to get that make it look like that, don't trust them. I wouldn't trust them. They're wrong. I'm telling you right now. I do this for a living. I look into these things. They don't work. But a $200,000 property, and I know I'm throwing lots of different numbers out here, you put 5% down on that. In 5 years, you'll have $67,000 in equity, approximately. Okay, guys? You know, 10 grand down, $67,000 in 5 years. let me see here. So if your money doubled, you'd have 20 grand. Then if your money doubled again, you'd have 40 grand. And then if your money doubled again, you'd have 80 grand. So your money doubled, and it doubled again, and it almost doubled again in 5 years. This is where wealth comes and rich comes in investment property. But you gotta put the time in. I can't stress this enough. If you're watching this and you wanna have revenue property, you're gonna have to put some time in. I go months and months and months without ever receiving a phone call. And then it seems to come in a flurry. Like this week and last week, I must have got a call from every tenant I had. I haven't heard from anybody in almost a year. And just nothing went wrong. No little dips or drips or, cracks or little things that happen. And then you have to make a choice of whether you're going to fix them right away. Anything to do with water, you do right away. So that's investment property. If you want to get an investment property and you want to get rich, and I mean rich, you will be rich. No doubt about it. But I cannot tell you how many people I know that, first of all, they're renting right now and won't do this. They can buy a property that would be cheaper than what it would be what they're renting, but they won't live there even though it's right next door. And they don't take advantage of this. But the people that do take advantage of this build wealth and cash flow and income. Because in the future, those rents go up a little bit every year. Your mortgage payments are going to disappear. The tenants will pay the properties off. They'll be worth considerably more than what you bought them for. In most cases, I do know one scenario, prices haven't gone up in 20 years. That happens. So is it worth doing? So number one, get off your duff, give me a call. 2, let's get you qualified. See if you can buy anything. See if you can buy a revenue property. 3, follow my rules on renting and maintaining your properties. I put 10% of my rents back into my properties every year. Guaranteed. Roofs, furnaces, windows, whatever it is. I have a list. I track it. I put it back in. Vacancies, 10%. Goes into a different account. I take the 10% right then and there every month. It goes into a totally, completely different bank account. So if I ever lose a tenant, the money's there to cover. I have a tenant moving right now. They've been there for 4 years. So for 4 years, I've been transferring that money over. And when you do it this way, and you run it like a business, and you run it like you know what you're doing, you will do extremely well. And I'd like to finish this off just with one little note. No matter how good you are at picking tenants, no matter how good you are at picking properties, no matter how many times you check it, if you check it too much, your tenants will leave. Check it not enough, your tenants will do stupid things. It doesn't matter how good you do it. I don't care if you do it perfect. You will get a bad tenant. And you just write it off like I do. I get one about every 100. And just the way it goes. You did everything perfectly, but you just end up with a bad tenant. And that's okay. Put it into your plan, and it doesn't matter. I don't care. Got a bad tenant? Whatever. I'm into this for the long haul, and you should be into it for the long haul too. So if you want to buy investment property, you give me a call. 403-620-3919 or text, email, something. Let's get things rolling. And we're going to have a lot of fun looking at property, and we'll find you something great. So I hope you enjoy this. Hit the subscribe button and go on down into the show more comments. You can win $5,000 if you fill out the entry form. And don't forget to save those bees. It's that time of year. Get your wildflowers from VC's or McKenzie's and get them in the ground. We'll talk to you soon.